Hi, I'm Jackie Lyons, today's guest host on Talk of the Town. Now, one of the great things about living on Hilton Head is a lot of interesting people live here. Like my first guest today. Her name is Charlene Riikonen. She is the CEO and president of Cera Products. And we're going to get into that in a minute, but I want to ask Charlene, what brought her to Hilton Head? Good morning, Charlene.
Good morning, Jackie. Yes, well, we were here in Hilton Head.
You and your husband.
My husband and I were here back last February doing some production, manufacturing a little bit south. And 6 feet of snow fell on Maryland. And so,
which is where you were living at the time?
That's where we were living, and where we had established the company originally. And we have warehouses and operations all over the country. And he said, is there some reason we have to go back?
No.
And so we thought about it and said, no, actually we could. So we decided to move our business here. And we're now in warm, sunny, boring, sunny, but happy Hilton Head Island.
Absolutely. We're glad to have you here.
Well, thank you.
Why don't you tell everyone, myself included, a little bit about Cera Products, and that is spelled C-E-R-A Products.
Yeah, okay. Jackie, the company started back in 1993, and I established the company following a stint of 3 years in Bangladesh, where oral hydration was discovered at an international center which was established by our government back in the early 60s to prevent deaths from dehydration, in particular from cholera, from our troops who were fighting in Vietnam. And this center and the physicians there and had a competition on what to do, and they came up with what they call a glucose co-transport mechanism, which is a means for fluids to be effectively absorbed and to prevent the deaths from dehydration. So I spent 3 years at this center and found that one of the projects that I was in charge of was developing new forms of oral hydration. So we studied rice, corn, wheat, sorghum, and rice. And rice was the least allergenic. So I went from there.
I wondered about that because I noticed that everything is rice-based.
That's right. Everything we do is rice-based, and our patent has to do with a mixed chain carbohydrate. So it works quickly as well as sustained. You don't get an insulin spike, and it's gluten-free.
And so Cera Products are products that address oral hydration.
Correct, and preventing and correcting dehydration. And we have 4 products in our line.
Oh, really? Okay. I do know that we talked about Cera Light.
Yes.
And Cera Sport.
Correct.
So I'm assuming Cera Sport is for the runner,
the triathlete.
Sure.
We actually, this is an example of the Cera Sport here, and we have some in powder, and we have it also in the liquid form. The primary users are people who have high exertion levels and will sweat a lot. This includes, we sell a lot to the U.S. military, Army Rangers.
Sure.
Navy SEALs. The sports teams, not so much.
Really?
We do triathlon groups.
Okay.
And this last 3 years, we sponsored Mirinda Carfrae, who won the Ironman this last year in Kona, Hawaii, which was 140 miles of swim, bike, run, and she was on our product.
And that's the Cera Sport, but then what about this Cera Light?
The Cera Light is for people with either chronic digestive illnesses, Crohn's, short gut, that kind of thing, or an infectious problem. You might go on a cruise, for example, and be
like dysentery, those
right,
kind of things?
that kind of thing. So yes, and those have been tested clinically, and we have clinical tests with Hopkins and Mayo Clinic and all the major institutions.
Now, I have to ask a real obvious question. What is your background that got you into the formulating of Cera products?
Well, my background has been primarily in management, and my undergraduate work is in, surprisingly, American Studies, but my master's work is in organizational communications, and who I've worked with on the formulations have been the world experts in oral hydration from Johns Hopkins and other institutions globally.
So I went on your website, and I mean, it's very impressive.
Well, thank you.
The doctors behind this product and behind your company as well.
They're excellent people. Same with our business operations. We also export to Central America, to Canada, to South Africa. So our little office here is small, but we have a huge operation globally.
You know, I'm sure there's a lot of us that had no idea that you were running this kind of business right here.
No.
Now, if somebody were, how do people go about buying Cera Light or Cera Sport?
Well, they can do it on our website, which is the www.ceraproductsinc.com, or at our office, which we have a little retail operation there.
And your office is located where?
On Matthews Drive. Sorry, yes.
That's okay.
We're at Matthews, near the airport.
Okay.
But we also have it at the Jiva Yoga Center.
All right.
And the Beach City Fitness and Go Try Sports are going to carry it, and we're looking for a few others. We were just talking to someone today about having it out in Bluffton, too. So
Great.
Yeah.
Well, you know, and you also, we were talking earlier before we started to tape today that there are others in development that will be other lines of Cera products. Are you allowed to talk about those?
Not really.
Well, then we're not going to talk.
Not really. Yeah, we can't talk about that. But we could talk about some of the do-good work we've done. For example,
I wish you would.
Here on the island, we've also explained about this and given product to the Volunteers in Medicine, the VIM. We've worked with some community groups and co-hosting events in Jarvis Park. These are local things, and we are the title sponsor of the Hilton Head Tri-Club this year, so we're very proud. We're hoping to help them grow.
Great.
And we have also just helped with being one of the exhibitors and groups at the Professional Tennis Registry that just happened. We had an really amazing response to that, several people wanting to carry our product for their camps and so forth, because it's no sugar. You don't have your insulin spikes, and
you said it was gluten-free.
And gluten-free, yes.
Rice-based.
And natural.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah.
I went on your website and read some of the testimonials. That also is very impressive. I mean, a lot of children, parents writing in about children who have had intestinal diseases or whatever.
Yes.
And the quick comeback.
Yes, it's been wonderful.
Yeah.
It's really rewarding for those of us who work for the company to see how much better it helps people feel. For the Cera Light product, it's a quality of life issue. With the Cera Sport, it's performance, hydration, maybe winning.
Absolutely. Why not?
So, yeah.
Why not? I say that's great. So, Charlene, obviously the Cera Sport and the Cera Light are your main products, but are you expanding in any other ways in Cera products?
Well, yes. Actually, we also have an animal hydration product called Cera Vet, and that is for dogs and cats who happen to have dehydration issues, as well as some farm animals, horses and pigs. And we're working on some new ways to deliver those and looking for distributors for that. The final product is Cera Vax, which is a live oral vaccine delivery product that has
Cera Vax?
VACX, yes.
Okay.
And that one has been around for some time in the research arms of a number of the Walter Reed, National Naval Medical Center, Johns Hopkins, in fact, is now studying a form of it with Gates Foundation funding.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, and that's actually how we initially started. One of the doctors that I work with had thought it would be a great idea if people could be vaccinated and be hydrated at the same time. And so he put his vaccine into this formulation that we had at the time, and it killed the vaccine. So that's how we first started. We said, well, we've got to go back to the drawing board.
Sure.
And then the first product that came up was Cera Light. So that one is still, but that has the potential for saving millions and millions of lives, because if someone had the opportunity to drink a live oral vaccine instead of have an immunization, a shot, which is invasive, it's wonderful.
I'd be right there. I'd be right there. I
Okay.
am so phobic of needles. It's unbelievable. Well, I so appreciate your being here today. It was great to meet you.
Yeah, great
you
to
are
meet
a fascinating
you too.
personality.
Well, thank you so much.
And I would like to know more about Cera products. And if anyone out there would love to know a little more about Cera products, well, for further details, call Charlene or call the business at 842-2600.
That's right.
And then, of course, why don't you give the website one more time?
It's www.ceraproducts.com. I messed that up.
It's CeraProductsInc.com.
Yeah, CeraProductsInc.com. Yeah.
Okay, Charlene.
All right. Well, thank you again.
Thank you so much for being
All
here,
right.
and we'll be right back.